Welcome to Space Matrix. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more updates. The South China Sea is a global crossroads, vital for trade, rich in resources, and fiercely contested. This region is a bustling artery of international commerce where trillions of dollars in trade flow annually, making it indispensable to the global economy. For the Philippines, these waters are a source of food, identity, and sovereignty. The sea provides sustenance for millions and is deeply woven into the cultural fabric of the nation. Chinese vessels routinely challenge Philippine control, raising tensions and threatening livelihoods. These confrontations are not just about territory, they impact the daily lives of those who depend on the sea for their survival. China's sweeping Nine-Line claim is about more than resources, it's about power and influence. This claim extends over vast areas, asserting dominance and reshaping regional dynamics. The Philippines sees this as an existential threat, while China views it as restoring its rightful place in the region. Both nations are driven by deep-seated historical narratives and national pride. Standoffs between coast guards and fishermen have become common, each incident risking escalation. These encounters are fraught with danger, as any miscalculation could lead to a larger conflict. The world watches as these two nations navigate a high-stakes game of nationalism and international law. The international community is keenly aware of the potential repercussions of this standoff. A single misstep could ignite a broader conflict. The military presence in the region is a constant reminder of the fragile peace that hangs in the balance. The South China Sea is not just a local dispute, it's a flashpoint with global consequences. The stakes include national futures, regional stability, and the balance of power in Asia, and the rules that govern the world's oceans. The outcome of this standoff could redefine international maritime law and set precedents for future territorial disputes. The Philippines has just unveiled a new official map, a bold and decisive move that asserts its maritime rights more clearly than ever before. This release marks a significant moment in the country's ongoing efforts to protect its sovereignty and define its place in the region. The map distinctly outlines the country's 200 nautical mile exclusive economic zone, an area recognized by international law as the West Philippine Sea. This zone is crucial, as it encompasses vital fishing grounds, natural resources, and strategic sea routes that are essential to the nation's economy and security. By naming and highlighting key features such as Scarborough Shoal and the Calayan Island Group as Philippine territory, the map directly challenges China's sweeping claims in the region. These areas have long been points of contention, and this map makes the Philippines' stance unmistakably clear. Unlike China's ambiguous Nine-Line, the Philippine map is firmly grounded in international law, specifically the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS, and the landmark 2016 Hague Tribunal ruling, which invalidated China's expansive legal claims in these waters. This map is more than just a legal document, it has become a powerful symbol and rallying point for national unity. It brings Filipinos together, reminding them of their shared heritage and collective responsibility to defend their maritime rights. In classrooms, it educates the next generation about the nation's rightful boundaries. On the world stage, it strengthens diplomatic efforts and provides much-needed clarity to the international community about where the Philippines stands. In a sea of competing narratives and overlapping claims, this map draws a clear and unambiguous line, both on paper and in principle, asserting the Philippines' position with confidence. It signals the Philippines' unwavering resolve to defend its rights, relying on the strength of law and diplomacy, rather than force alone, to protect its interests and promote peace in the region. The message is clear: the Philippines will not be sidelined in its own waters. With this new map, the nation stands firm, determined to safeguard its future and assert its rightful place in the world. At the heart of the conflict are two irreconcilable maps. China's Nine-Line claims nearly the entire South China Sea, citing vague historic rights. The Philippines' new map relies on UNCLOS, defining a 200 nautical mile zone for exclusive resource rights. For China, the sea is a strategic gateway and a buffer for its southern coast. Power projection is key. For the Philippines, it's about food, energy, and sovereignty. Fishermen are being pushed out and vital resources remain untapped. China builds and militarizes islands, the Philippines asserts law and history. The dispute is about more than territory, it's about survival for one and dominance for the other. The world's rules are being tested in these contested waters. The new map is central to the Philippines' strategy, anchoring its claims in international law. It shifts the debate from China's historical narrative to clear legal principles, making it easier for allies to support Manila. The map unites Filipinos, turning an abstract dispute into a personal cause. Diplomatically, it's a tool to rally support from the US, Japan, Australia, and the EU. Philippine diplomats now have a concrete basis for joint patrols and coordinated action. The strategy puts China on the defensive, highlighting its disregard for UNCLOS. The map is soft power in action, a peaceful but firm stand against a much larger rival. It's a calculated move to win in the court of global opinion. China's response was immediate and forceful, dismissing the Philippine map as both illegal and highly provocative, warning of consequences. On the water, Chinese ships rapidly increased their presence, using aggressive tactics to block and intimidate Filipino vessels in disputed waters. Beijing doubled down diplomatically, working to divide Southeast Asian nations and prevent them from forming a united front against its interests. China prefers one-on-one negotiations, where its economic and political power is virtually unmatched. The US responded with more frequent naval patrols, raising the risk of dangerous encounters at sea. The cycle of action and reaction escalates, drawing in major powers and increasing tensions. The risk of miscalculation grows, threatening not just regional stability but also global trade and economic security. The standoff is no longer just about maps, it's about power, prestige, and the uncertain future of the entire region. The South China Sea is a global artery. Over a third of world trade passes through these waters. Any conflict here would disrupt supply chains, spike prices, and threaten economies worldwide. For Filipinos, it's about daily survival. Fishing communities face harassment, shrinking catches, and lost livelihoods. The dispute tests the strength of international law. If China can ignore UNCLOS, the rules-based order is at risk everywhere. Might over right sets a dangerous precedent for small nations. The US-Philippines alliance means the dispute could draw in superpowers, raising the stakes to nuclear levels. The world is watching. Will law and diplomacy prevail, or will force decide the outcome? The answer will shape not just Asia, but the global order. The South China Sea is everyone's business. Peace here means stability everywhere. The stakes are nothing less than the future of international law and global security. The Philippines' new map marks a turning point, seizing the initiative and reframing the debate. For years, the South China Sea has been a flashpoint, but this bold move signals a new era. By officially asserting its maritime boundaries, the Philippines is not only defending its sovereignty, but also challenging the status quo in the region. This action could inspire other Southeast Asian nations to clarify their own claims and build a more united front. If countries like Vietnam, Malaysia, and Indonesia follow suit, ASEAN could emerge as a stronger, more cohesive bloc, capable of negotiating with greater confidence and solidarity. Stronger alliances with the US, Japan, Australia, and Europe are likely, moving from words to real cooperation. Joint military exercises, intelligence sharing, and coordinated diplomatic efforts may become more frequent, signaling a shift from symbolic gestures to tangible support for regional security. But China is unlikely to back down. Increased pressure, economic retaliation, and maritime confrontations are expected. Beijing may intensify patrols, impose trade restrictions, or use its Coast Guard to assert dominance, raising the stakes for all involved. The risk of miscalculation is real. A single incident could spiral into conflict. With so many ships and aircraft operating in close proximity, even a minor misunderstanding could escalate rapidly, threatening peace and stability in the region. The future depends on restraint, dialogue, and respect for international law. Diplomatic channels must remain open, and all parties need to prioritize peaceful solutions over confrontation, using international forums to resolve disputes. The map is a symbol of resolve, a small nation standing up for its rights. It represents the hopes of millions who depend on these waters for their livelihood, and the determination to protect their future. Whether the world rallies behind this principle will determine the region's fate. International support, or the lack of it, will send a powerful message about the value of rules-based order and the rights of smaller nations. If law prevails, the map will be remembered as a step toward a just maritime order. It could set a precedent for peaceful resolution of disputes, inspiring other regions facing similar challenges. The South China Sea's future hangs in the balance. Its outcome will echo far beyond its shores, shaping the geopolitics of Asia and the world for generations to come.